A hero is defined by their villains. At least, that's our firm belief. Which brings us to the true alpha of the Hyborian age, Conan the Barbarian. While Conan is no superhero, his proficiency in martial arts, along with that smoldering, brawny appearance, is living proof of the fact that he has quite a lengthy list of enemies, many of whom stand head and shoulders above him in terms of sheer power. But what about a foe that seems to defy physical reality? Well, truth be told, very few beings in the Conan universe are as morally evil as Thog. Or should we say, the ancient demon who stalks the mysterious city of Suthul in the deserts of Kush. This brings us to the main contents of today's video, where we'll be exploring the origins of Thog the Ancient. Mind you, it's going to be quite an interesting analysis of the demon god, who, in all probability, was either a great or a lesser old one. Therefore, we suggest that you stay tuned till the end of our video. So, are you ready? Without further ado, let's begin. But before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Who is Thog the Demon God? A creation of Robert E. Howard, Thog the Ancient first appeared in The Slithering Shadow, one of the original short stories starring our sword and sorcery hero Conan, published in the September 1933 issue of Weird Tales magazine. Also known as Suthul of the Dusk, the story was later adapted by Roy Thomas, John Buscema, and Alfredo Alcala in the 20th issue of Savage Sword of Conan, and in today's video, we're going to explore this atmospheric comic, crammed with mystery and action, published in July 1977 to get a better idea of the Lovecraftian demon otherwise known as Thog. Origins of Thog, comic explored. The last survivors of Prince Almuric's army, Conan and his female companion, the beautiful but somewhat naive Natala, are seen struggling in the scorching, relentless expanse of a desolate, boundless desert. For days, the duo has been pushing on, looking for water, and after their camel dies, they continue their journey on foot. The scorching sun's merciless fury leaves them utterly parched and almost on the verge of collapse. Conan lets Natala drink the remaining water from his canteen and has even made up his mind to kill her in an act of mercy, to spare her from the slow, impending agony that he himself is fated to, when something stops him. Something far in the south catches Conan's attention. While the thought of a mirage challenging their last vestiges of sanity does cross his mind, he still wants to take his chances and get a closer look at what seems like a city. Conan wastes no time in picking Natala up and carrying her all the way there. The city appears to be a marvel of ancient architecture, but suspiciously abandoned, devoid of the slightest sign of life. There's no denying that it's a site that promises life, water, and respite, but something about the unsettling quietude of the place feels like there's a lot more than meets the eye. Very soon, the pair discovers a man lying on the ground, and when Conan checks him, he appears to be dead. With Conan immediately spotting a well nearby, he attempts to quench his thirst, only to find the supposedly dead man hurtling towards him and Natala with a sword in hand. The man is promptly killed by Conan and disposed of inside the well. Next, on entering one of the chambers, they are beyond shocked to find a feast laid out on the table. Despite Natala having her reservations, she can't help but join Conan, and it's fitting to state that both ravenously eat and drink to their heart's content. Soon after, they encounter another man who is seen lying on a raised dais. Draped in fine silk and adorned with exquisite jewelry, the man does not move. Instead, he looks like he's caught in a perpetual, luxurious, trance-like state. Conan hears a soft but sinister rustling, the same sound he had heard just after eating. Unable to make out much, he draws back without a sound and covers Natala's mouth to ensure she stays quiet. From where they stand, they cannot see the dais, but they can see its shadow on the wall. To their horror, they find another shadow, a huge, shapeless black blot moving across the wall. Within moments, the greater shadow swallows the figure on the dais. Once the humongous black shadow recedes, the bejeweled man is gone. This is terrifying not only for Natala, but also for the barbarian. A bewildered and impatient Conan goes in front of the dais to get a proper look, only to find a giant drop of blood on the silken pillow. Eventually, they come across another man whose eyes are as dreamy as a lotus eater's, but he's awake and asks them where they come from. The man, visibly steeped in the city's languid decay, thinks Natala is a dream. No wonder he's exceedingly shocked to discover that not only is she real, but so is Conan. When Conan Conan angrily tells him about the strange shadow and how a sleeping man vanished into it, the man runs away screaming like a madman. Determined to leave the city of maniacs, they run into Talis, a beautiful-looking Stygian who tells them about the history of the ancient city of Suthul, its people, and of course, the monstrous demon Thog the Ancient, whom the people of Suthul worship. We as readers, along with Conan and Natala, learn that Suthul is inhabited by a dwindling population of people who live in a drug-induced stupor. Talis explains how they are trapped in a cycle of passive indulgence and slow demise, completely dependent on a unique narcotic plant known as the Black Lotus. Its potent fragrance permeates the air, and when inhaled for a long time, induces a deep, narcotic, dreamlike state. But that's not all. Talis hints at a darker truth when she mentions Thog and his feeding habits. Suddenly, Suthul transforms from a city of dreamers to a city of prey. For the longest time, Thog has been slithering through Suthul's hidden passages, occasionally emerging to feed on the dreaming inhabitants. As the story progresses, we find Talis trying her best to manipulate Conan. She urges him to stay in Suthul, even promising to make him a king. But when Conan declines and chooses to leave with Natala, Talis kidnaps Natala in hopes of sacrificing her to Thog. As she disappears with Natala behind a fluttering tapestry, Conan gives chase, only to find a solid, unyielding stone behind it. Talis is seen dragging Natala along a dark corridor. It becomes clear that she is hell-bent on making Conan her king, even if it means getting rid of Natala. A struggling Natala manages to grab Talis's girdle and take out her dagger. Using every bit of force, she stabs Talis. While she briefly frees herself, Talis quickly recaptures her. A highly enraged Talis decides to teach her a lesson before throwing her into Thog's jaws. She binds Natala and begins to whip her. Natala screams in pain, forgetting that her cries may summon the monstrosity lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, something freezes her in place. Paralyzing horror fills her eyes. Talis turns to find the shadowy demon, which wastes no time devouring her. The monstrous entity returns for Natala. Darkness begins to take form. We're looking at a creature of nightmare, an embodiment of ancient malevolence. Natala believes she must be mad to witness such horror, but even in the sanctuary of insanity, she realizes she cannot hide from Thog. Despite his repulsive, otherworldly appearance, Thog tries to rape her, but is stopped by the sudden intervention of a bronzed form. No points for guessing, it's Conan, who has finally found her. Previously, Conan had been ambushed by a large number of male inhabitants, but managed to dispatch them all, his rage over Natala's disappearance fueling his fury. As he raced through the corridors, a yellow-skinned woman triggered a pit trap, and he fell, landing right in front of Thog. Witnessing Natala in Thog's grasp sends a red wave of fury through Conan. He leaps at the monster with his sword. Repeated strikes gain Thog's attention and wrath. The shadowy being towers over him like a black cloud, wrapping its tentacles around Conan and lifting him towards its gaping maw. But Conan, using every ounce of strength and agility, hacks and slashes his way to victory, ultimately knocking the Shambler of Suthul into a dark abyss. Bruised and battered, Conan frees Natala. She realizes he is mortally wounded. Fortunately, she brings him a jade jar of golden liquid, the life-giving elixir Talis had mentioned. After drinking it, Conan recovers miraculously, feeling life surge through his veins once more. Together, they escape the cursed city of Suthul, acknowledging the futility of saving those who do not wish to be saved. The comic ends with Natala jokingly blaming Conan for rousing Talis's lustful nature, to which Conan responds playfully. Thog's biographical sketch, physical appearance, traits, and skills. First things first, Thog is a terrifyingly grisly demon that could only have been bred in the lost pits of hell. A mysterious glow often precedes its arrival, and it's only fitting to refer to Thog as an entity of primordial darkness and nightmare. In the comics, Talis describes Thog as a powerful being worshipped by the people of Suthul. We learn that Thog slithers through the labyrinth passages beneath the city, emerging occasionally to hunt when hunger strikes. While the dreaming populace of Suthul undeniably fears Thog, they have come to accept their fate as necessary sacrifices. Unsurprisingly, Thog is largely to blame for Suthul's steadily declining population. In terms of temperament, Thog is disturbingly lustful. There's no other way to put it. While exploring the comics, we encounter a disturbing moment where Thog attempts to rape Natala, caressing her with its dark tentacles rather than immediately devouring her. This parasitic god of Suthul even proves to be quite a challenge for Conan himself. To simply say that Thog was a horror Conan had never encountered before would be a gross understatement. Thog isn't just a creature of flesh and blood, it is darkness incarnate. Its shadow-like essence allows it to phase through solid matter and defy the laws of physics, making it a malevolent, otherworldly beast. That being said, Conan was no ordinary prey, and he quickly proved to be just as menacing, if not more. Now, for those wondering what Thog actually looks like, it has a distinctly toad-like appearance. It also possesses the ability to transform into a massive, mysterious black shadow. Thog is notably resilient. Despite taking numerous blows from Conan's sword, it's unclear whether it truly perished after falling into the chasm. Marvelous verdict. This has been an intriguing deep dive into Thog, the demon god from Conan's universe. And that wraps up today's video. What are your thoughts on this monstrous entity? Do you think Thog is still alive? After all, one cannot ignore the possibility that it's either a great old one or a lesser old one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and take care. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.